We join in singing hymn Unexpected and Mysterious. Elizabeth grew up in a priestly family. She married Zechariah, a priest. She enters the gospel story in the first chapter of Luke. Elizabeth and Zechariah were an older couple who were childless. The angel Gabriel visits Zechariah to tell him that Zechariah and Elizabeth would have a son. They were to name him John. When Elizabeth was 5 months pregnant, her relative, a young woman named Mary, came to visit. Their encounter is famous, filled with wonderful poetry and song.
The first thing you need to know about me is that I was old and childless when the angel Gabriel arrived. Barren is the term society used. Some neighbors spoke that word with pity, others with barely concealed derision. In that society, a woman was expected to give birth, but I could not. It bothered me, of course. It bothered me terribly. It troubled my husband too. Zechariah is his name. A priest in the temple. One special day, when Zechariah was offering incense in the temple's sanctuary, a most holy place, the angel Gabriel fluttered over to him and told him we were going to have a son, and we were to name him John. If I had been there, I would have laughed in his face, and then I would have asked some pointed questions. But my husband is afraid of angels, afraid of God too, perhaps, but not me. As far as I'm concerned, God has some explaining to do. So if that feathered friend had come to me, I would have said, "Why now? It's a little late, isn't it? Where have you been when I have needed you? Where were you through all these barren years?" Good questions to ask, I should think. But I have to hand it to God. God did just what God had promised, and Zechariah and I produced a child. I was 5 months pregnant when Mary came to see me. I had settled down some, was even able to say to friends that the Lord had looked favorably upon me and had taken away the disgrace I had endured among my people. So Mary came to see me, and I knew right away she was pregnant too. Just a young girl with no husband. I had a husband, but for a long time, no child. Both of us would be looked down upon in such circumstances, both facing shame and derision. I knew what those emotions were. I knew that Mary needed a friend. And I knew something else too. The child she was carrying was holy. In my womb, my baby-to-be jumped, kicked, and did some somersaults. Even in utero, my unborn John was proclaiming the coming of the Lord. So I wasn't surprised when Mary told me that the angel Gabriel had come to her and proclaimed that she would be the mother of the Lord. I have to come to trust the promises of God. So did Mary, that young woman no more than a girl, really. And so I said, as it turned out, some words that would last through the ages. Blessed are you among women, I told Mary, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And why has this happened to me, that the mother of my Lord comes to me? For as soon as I heard the sound of your greeting, the child in my womb leaped for joy. And blessed is she who believed that there would be fulfillment of what was spoken to her by the Lord. That's what I said. Later, much later, there would be sorrow for me and for her. Things did not end well for my son John, who was known as the Baptist, for he had indeed baptized the Messiah, Mary's son. But John faithfully pointed to the one who was coming, and he died an honorable and faithful man. Can one ask for more?